What is good, Silas fans? I am Bryant Cook, and today I am playing Commander, or cEDH, Competitive Elder Dragon Highlander, with a few of my very good friends, Alex McKinley of the Epic Storm team, Mikey Hallahan of the Miscast, and Mitchell Stevenson. Today, I will be playing Rograkh Silas, the deck that I am probably most known for in this space. Alex McKinley will also be on Rograkh Silas. Mikey Hallahan, I imagine, will be on Timna Crom, and Mitchell will be on Najila. So all four of us play a lot together. We're all good friends. We share a Discord server where we test together all the time. I pitched the idea to them that I wanted to start recording content for cEDH that's first person, because I think one of the things that this format lacks is first person content. Why you make these plays, why you make mulligans, stuff like that. A lot of cEDH content is top down, so you're just looking at a camera view of four players and you're not really learning anything about the decision trees or why people do things. So that's why I'm actually playing on Magic Online today, as you can see the Moto screen in front of you. With Daybreak Games taking over Magic Online, they're actually going to be changing the Commander interface to make it more user-friendly, so hopefully Commander picks up on the online space anyway. But one of the benefits of playing over Magic Online today is I can narrate through my plays with you, so hopefully you enjoy this content, you understand why I make decisions, and all that good stuff. I'm not going to do an in-depth deck tech today. You can visit my Moxfield link where it has my entire deck list. You can also find that deck list in the description and the pinned comment. Actually, those are just going to link you to Moxfield. So go to Moxfield. Make sure to follow me on Moxfield. I greatly appreciate it. They are a sponsor of this channel and, well, this video. So definitely go to Moxfield, follow me there, check out the deck list. If you have any questions for me, you can leave those in the comment section down below, or even on Moxfield. I do answer questions in both spaces, so definitely do those things. I will also try to include links of my friends' deck list as well, but one of the highlights of this deck list today is I'm actually playing Crystal Vein. Let me see if it will zoom in. Whoops. All right, the card from Mirage. So why Crystal Vein, right? Like, there's so many broken cards you can play in cEDH. Well, we started by adding in Ancient Tomb way over here. And if you don't like the card versions that I'm playing, sorry, stinks to be you. But this is the version that comes in Japanese foil, and I tried to match my Magic Online account to my paper version. So Ancient Tomb was incredible, so much that I began to wonder about City of Traders, and I added in City of Traders, and I was like, oh, this card's broken. So we waited a month or so, and I thought to myself, why am I not trying out Crystal Vein? And I've been trying it ever since. It's been super fantastic. So it's not really a card that you use to accelerate into your talisman effects, but it is a card that you look to when you're trying to accelerate into something like Rhystic Study on the first turn, or Birgi, God of Storytelling, or even a Wheel of Fortune. So those are ways that you can use Crystal Vein, and I've liked it so far. It could be another 5-color land. There's a few options for you to choose from. You could play something like Spire of Industry, because at this point, I'm actually playing almost 20 artifacts. So Spire of Industry, it's worth thinking about. You can also run Exotic Orchard, because that is a card that I've cut from the deck that a lot of people still play. So definitely check out those if you're not interested in Crystal Vein, but I'm pretty confident in Crystal Vein at this point. So another change that we've had recently is I've been all about Final Fortune for the last few months. Over the last couple months, we've added in Last Chance and Warrior's Oath. We are playing all 3 Final Fortune effects in the deck, and they've just continued to overperform. So much that I've actually cut Jessica's Will, and I just love these cards. That's about all I'm going to give you for the deck tech today. If you have any other questions, once again, head over to Moxfield, leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer those, or you can even just leave them in the YouTube section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video and all of this great first-person content. I really do. I'll see you in the first game. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation-decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Alright, welcome to game number 1. I am still playing Rograkh Silas. Mikey Holohan is on Tim the Crom. And then we have Mitchell Stevenson on Najila and Alex McKinley, aka Vivirus, on Rograkh Silas. Okay, so we've opened up a hand where I can go turn 1 Arcane Signet, Mox Amber, into Grim Monolith with Forced Backup. We're missing a payoff spell. That said, we are in a pod where there's a lot of wheel effects, right? I think that you're supposed to keep this and just assume that a wheel will happen at some point. So I'm going to keep this. Even if you don't draw a wheel, our deck is jam-packed full of interaction, and I love having these explosive mana openers. So one of the things about playing Rograkh Silas is you play a lot to the pod, and I feel like people have these rules where they always play to like these set of standards where they don't think enough about what they're facing. So, for example, would I keep this hand against a pod with Winota in it? Probably not. But being in a pod where, you know, we're facing 3 other blue decks, I think that this hand is very reasonable. So Mikey decided to switch faces and then play Mox Diamond. That's fine. And then passes the turn. We draw Tainted Pact. That was beautiful. All right, so we're going to lead off on the City of Traders, cast Rograkh from the command zone. Play this Arcane Signet. Mox Amber. And Grim Monolith. Pass the turn. Feel like we're in a pretty decent spot. Another Mox Diamond. And it looks like Mana Confluence was the land discarded to that Mox Diamond. Mikey discarded a City of Traders, which is pretty interesting. Rograkh after the Ragavan. Interesting. Alex cast the Ragavan by pitching Simian Spirit Guide. So that means that this Mox Diamond is representing some sort of interaction. Mana Confluence. And passing the turn. Wow. Mikey pitches. Okay, the promo doc side. I haven't actually seen this art yet. Douglas Schuler, an OG artist. So Mikey cast that pitching Simian Spirit Guide. I cannot respond here. I have to allow this to resolve. So Mikey will be getting 4 treasure from this dockside. 5 total mana, 4 cards in hand. Demonic Consultation. I'm going to pass on this one. It could just mean a Thassa's Oracle in hand, though. And Mikey exiled their entire library to Demonic Consultation. That's one way to go. Sometimes you get bit, and that's just magic. I have to say, I do feel like I'm in the driver's seat now. Okay. We drew Wheel of Fortune. That actually would have been what I Tainted Pact for. That was a very good draw. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Play Rite of Flame. I could snap the Rograkh, but I don't want to give up my blue source with this Arcane Signet, so I'm just going to cast the wheel. And it looks like the wheel is resolving. Waiting for, ooh. That was bad. That was a lot of lands. Sheesh. For a deck that plays 25, not ideal. I'm going to have to hope that somebody else plays a wheel at this point. Pass that turn. I guess I could have played Silas, but I think playing Silas is often a pretty big trap. So Alex can now attack with the Ragavan coming at me. I'll fall to 38. I really need to find another wheel. Ragavan happens. Exiles Chain of Vapor. Mox Amber for Alex. Okay. Alright, I've hidden Mikey so that way we can expand the board. Nice feature of Magic Online is you can hide players that have been removed. Calling the Weak. So it looks like Mitch is passed on the calling. I'm going to mental misstep this. Pay the blue. Fierce Guardianship. So this game may just be ending here. Wheel of Misfortune. Well, that's what I needed to happen, but now we need to be a player that is allowed to wheel here. And now I'm regretting tapping my land. I didn't think this was going to end up being a wheel when I saw the Calling the Weak. So we have to pick a number. I'm going to go high because I need to wheel. I'm going to choose 13. Mitch does not wheel paying 10 life. So we have Forcible, Deflecting Swat, and a Vampiric Tutor. So we have two things to interact to stop Alex, and we have Vamp to set up our own Ad Nauseam on our turn. It looks like I was not punished for the play, and Alex is trying to remove my Rograkh. I'm going to swat this back at Alex's Rograkh. Yes, I would like to change the target back at your own Rograkh, Alex. Alex should float a red with this Mox Amber. But doesn't. Wow! Alex plays Demonic Tutor. What was the thought process behind not tapping Mox Amber for red? Alex says in chat, I'm just a moron. Sorry, Alex. Alex plays a Dockside Extortionist. So here is a spot where I got bit for not having the open mana, or else I could just cast this Dress down. Alex with a single black mana open. This Dockside costs 2 and is going to make 3. I think I'm supposed to let this go. Talisman, or Alex then plays a Talisman of Indulgence. I mean, this is what happens when you play Rogside. It's myself versus Alex right now. Mitch has a lonely mana confluence. Mikey's removed from the game. Rogside is too strong. And Alex is passing the turn with 4 cards in hand. My Chain of Vapor goes to exile from the Ragavan. Mitchell plays a Plateau, Jeweled Lotus. Here comes a Nagila. Yep. Soul Ring. And Mitch is passing. We're going to cast Vampiric Tutor. So there is some thought here on what we're supposed to get with the Vampiric. Because if I get Ad Nauseam, Flusterstorm is a live card. And Dispel can counter Ad Nauseam as well. So we could get something like Underworld Breach. And that's really interesting. We could also just get like Yawgmoth's Will, for example. Although I don't think will actually win the game here. And it has a similar problem to Ad Naus. It gets hit by Fluster. So Breach is really interesting. We could also get the back half of Bergie, the Hornfell. My problem with getting Breach is I just feel like I don't have a whole lot to go with it. I could play Defense Grid post Breach into like Tainted Pact. Maybe it is supposed to just be Breach. How much do I care about Flusterstorm? So tap the Mox Amber, Grim Monolith, and that casts Underworld Breach. The 2 floating off Grim Monolith would play Defense Grid, and I'd have Arid Mesa to fetch, so I'd have 3 available mana into Tainted Pact floating 1 with 1 available mana. That's a little bit risky. I think I'm just supposed to grab the Ad Nauseam here. Alright, we drew Ad Nauseam. Let's fetch with the Marsh Flats. We go to 35. Grab this Underground Sea. One of the things I love about playing online is how shuffling is just super easy. Like, you don't have to sit there and shuffle for 2 minutes after you cast a tutor. It just happens. So we can pay for a Spell Pierce here. You could even pay for Fluster. At least at the moment. Alex cast Demonic Consultation. Let's see if 2 of my opponents this game can remove their entire library. Name's Flusterstorm. Has 4 cards left in deck, so Alex is just spiting me at this point. Yeah, I mean, I guess my Ad Nauseam is going to be countered by Fluster. Well, actually, I could pay and then force. Maybe that's the line. Okay. Force will a single copy of Flusterstorm. And Alex then fights with Pyroblast. So Alex just spiting me here. 2 cards in hand, 4 cards in library, just making sure that I don't win. Alright. We will pass the turn. I have nothing going on. Alright, so I wasn't fast enough, but Alex has resolved a Yawgmoth's Will, Culling the Weak. Can Alex come back and win this? 3 cards in deck. Cabal Ritual. Demonic Tutor floating 5. Alex is now recasting Ragavan. They got a card with their Demonic Tutor, so they found something. And it looks like they're passing the turn now. So yeah, that whole turn cycle with the Pyroblast and Fluster on my Ad Nauseam feels a little bit like king making, but I'm not going to complain too much. I'm just going to focus on doing what I can control, and that's trying to win the game with the resources I have. Granted, they're not great right now. Mitch is now playing an Underworld Breach. I believe I've lost this game. Mitch plays a Windswept Heath. And a gamble. We're probably just dead to this gamble. It should get Lion's Eye Diamond and then escapes for Brain Freeze. They discard a Badlands. There's the diamond. I'm going to auto yield at this point. Another gamble. Discards the Brain Freeze, and now Mitchell can't escape the Brain Freeze over and over to deck themselves until they can play Thassa's Oracle, the classic Underworld Breach loop. That is how game number 1 will end. We were not the victors. Bummer. I'm going to just concede here, and I will see you in the second game. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. I guess it's game number 2, not match number 2. We're on the play. I'm going to keep this hand because we have turn 1 Ragavan into upkeep Vampiric Tutor for Rhystic Study. And I think that's going to be pretty impactful here. So in between games, we had some conversations about what happened. One, Alex punted on the forgetting to tap Mox Amber thing and then realized it shortly after. But I guess Alex misread the number of cards in exile and thought that they were still live. So it wasn't intended to be a spite play, even though it may have seemed like it. Not the end of the world. Not going to dwell on it. I'm just looking to play some cEDH with my friends here. I would prefer if this Pact Negation was like a deflecting SWAT or fierce guardianship, so that way I could potentially protect a turn 2 Rhystic Study, where right now it's sort of left out in the open. If you wanted to be a little bit more risky, you could potentially Vampiric Tutor for like a Mana Crypt or something, but I don't think that actually helps you. You could even look into dashing Ragavan on turn 1, but I don't think that's the best thing. I think we just want our creature in play. It looks like Mitchell and Mikey have both mulliganed to 5. Alex and I have both kept 7. All right, Daze was our draw. That gives us protection for the turn 2 Rhystic Study. Big fan of that. We'll start off by playing our Rograkh. Play the Ragavan. And then I'm actually going to play Chrome Mox, which might seem a little bit weird, but just in case there's like a turn 1 Wheel of Fortune or anything like that, I don't want my cards to just go to waste. And I'd rather have the Chrome Mox in play if that's going to happen. So I'm going to imprint this Mystical Tutor. All right, pass the turn. You might be wondering, why did I lead on Blood Crypt when I have Volcanic Island in hand, which is a reasonable question to ask. Like I mentioned, I want to be able to upkeep Vampiric Tutor for the Rhystic Study. I can't do that if I lead on Volcanic Island. I would have needed to draw on a black card to imprint on the Chrome Mox. So if you really wanted to, I suppose you could have dashed the Ragavan and then use the treasure token to cast Vampiric Tutor. But I'm just willing to bet on the first turn cycle there's not going to be anything that I need to daze. It wasn't an accident. I didn't miss this line. I just decided that I'm not going to set myself back in order to play defensively in the first turn cycle. Gitaxian Probe looks at Alex's hand. I will not respond. Spire of Industry. Passing the turn. Verdant Catacombs from Alex. Alex picks up an Underground Sea and a Mana Vault. That's fine. Ooh, I don't have a stop on my upkeep. That's good to know. That would have been very, very bad for me, and I would have been very upset. Glad that I caught that. My upkeep. We will cast Vampiric Tutor. Alright, let's go get that Rhystic Study wherever it is. Draw for turn. Play Volcanic. Mikey tends to play a lot of acceleration. I guess so does Alex. Yeah, let's attack Alex. There's technically a few more pieces of mana in Alex's deck than there is Mikey's. No blocks, Ragavan will trigger. Just playing to the numbers here. Yawgmoth's Will. I mean, I could get back this Vampiric Tutor. Play Rhystic Study. Mitch is going to fetch. Tropical Island. I will daze the Swan Song. We see Alex McKinley casting Force of Will, removing Mystical Tutor, and I have to pass on this. We are now stuck at a very awkward spot. I really wish this Pact Negation would have been one of the free commander spells, as I mentioned when we first looked at her hand. Marsh Flats from Mitch. Grabs Badlands. Rite of Flame. 3 mana. I imagine that this is just a Najila, and it is. Mox Amber, and passing the turn. And Mikey's just passing, so It's interesting. I think Mikey was counting on hitting an artifact with this Gitaxian probe, and hasn't been panning out that well. It's worth noting Mikey did mulligan down to 5, did not keep a loose 7. Alright, so we got back to our turn. Force of Negation. Who to attack? Imagine it's still Alex. Like, Alex, like, we're playing the same 100, I believe. And there's just more of everything I want in Alex's deck compared to something like Tim Necrom. Plus, the Ragvan attacking Alex has the added benefit of lowering Alex's life total for Ad Nauseam or Necropotence. The Ragvan triggers. Talisman. I'm fine with playing that. And I think, I mean, I'm going to break my own rule here. I think it's actually fine to cast Silas. We have Force and Negation protection. Alex passed the turn with 5 open mana, so I don't know. I think Alex may not have a whole lot going on. Druid's Repository. So I believe this wins the game if it resolves. Whenever creature you control attacks, put a charge counter on it. Add 1 mana. So Mitch would just need more creatures in order to win. I'm going to let this go. I mean, I could force that, but I've already griefed myself enough this game, and I want the potential to win. There needs to be more creatures in play with this Druid's Repository to win, so I'm just passing. Like, I don't believe Mitch can actually win this turn, so I think there will be a full turn cycle before this becomes an issue. Alright, so there was a charge counter added to the Druid's Repository, but there's only 1 on there. And Mitch passes the turn after that. My best draw would be something like Ad Nauseam. Underworld Breach isn't even good here. I have to imagine that Alex is just going for Ad Nauseam here. I'm going to force it, and then we're probably dead to Najeela. Defense Grid. I'm going to pass. I mean, if no one else interacts here, then my counters are useless anyway. And the grid is resolved, so I think we're just dead. Hit that F6 key, I can't respond anyway. So I am giving Alex 3 treasures. So Dockside makes 4 total. I guess I made 5? Oh, there was a Mox Amber on Mitch's side too. Yeah, Defense Grid and Ad Nauseam is pretty good. So this is Alex's revealed zone. Snap, Last Chance, Culling the Weak, Crater's Grasp, Force and Negation. Alex is at 4 life. Does this do it? Cabal Ritual, Demonic Tutor, Wishclaw. This has to be enough. Oh, and there's a land drop. Yeah, this should do it. You can Culling Ritual away the Dockside and then Demonic Tutor for Underworld Breach. Snap the Dockside, okay. 5 more treasure. Demonic Tutor. And here's an Underworld Breach. Throw Mox. And Prince Force and Negation. Finally cast the Culling the Weak. I think that the sequencing this turn I don't love because I feel like Alex used more colored mana sources than necessary. It could have been a lot cleaner, but I mean, a win's a win. In the end, after you resolve Ad Nauseam with Defense Grid, there's a lot of different ways you could skin this cat, right? And there's the Lion's Eye Diamond, so now Alex can escape the Demonic Tutor for Brain Freeze. And Alex already has it. I am willing to concede here. Not going to make Alex click through all of that. We'll vote for Alex. I forget that this is different from 2-player, where you can immediately draw your next card. Bummer. So I haven't won yet, but Rograkh did. That's still pretty sweet. All right, we're going into game 3. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Game number 3. I think we're last in turn order. Yeah, we are in fact last in turn order. So we do have a Force plus Mana Crypt, which you might be thinking, Bryant, how is this hand any different from game number 1? The hand made a lot more mana, where here, I'm not really looking to make land drops. This hand is so reactive, and even if I did draw a payoff spell, doesn't really do anything that well. This is a pretty easy mulligan to me. All right, we will take our mulligan. Rhystic Study. So this is turn 2 Rhystic. In last seat. I don't love it. I think we're actually forced to mulligan this. I don't know. So I have to get to my second turn in order to be able to play the Rhystic, have it resolve, and then have whoever wins the game play a bunch of spells into it without Red Elemental Blast. It just seems like a really tall ask. That said, I do have a draw step that could get me like a Signet or something that would allow me to turn 1 the Rhystic. So I'm pretty torn here. I think I'm going to keep it and be very frustrated with myself. Windswept Heath. For a plateau. Mana Crypt. Lion's Eye Diamond. Are we going to see a turn 1 Crom? 5 cards in Mikey's hand. Turn 1 Crom here would be bold. Wheel of Fortune. Oh no! Okay, I did turn off my auto yield in time. I should be able to pitch the Spirit Guide. Guess my hand didn't matter. And I have a Pyroblast. Demonic Tutor. See what everyone kept in their opening hands. I have a turn 1 Windfall, but I don't know if that's actually good enough. Mikey's passing after the Demonic. Flooded Strand from Mitch. They activate. Scrubland. Esper Sentinel. Yep. Mental Misstep from Alex. So one of my concerns is I don't know if I'm going to get back to a second turn, and that kind of terrifies me. So the reason why I mention this is the graveyard's already stocked for Yawgmoth's Will, Underworld Breach, etc. And that to me is just terrifying, especially when my plan here is to cast a turn 1 Wheel of Fortune. I'm sorry, turn 1 Windfall. There's a Rograkh. Okay, let's see what our draw step entails. Brainstorm. Let's start off by playing the Rog. Lotus Petal. So I could Brainstorm plus Fetch or something along those lines. I just don't know if it's necessarily the best idea. I could also Vampire Tutor into Brainstorm so I could go get Mana Crypt, but then I can't Windfall. I think the big thing here is I just want a windfall. Mikey cast Demonic Tutor, and if Mikey got Underworld Breach, we really need this to resolve. Mindbreak Trap from Mikey. And Alex protects my windfall. Windfall back on the stack. The highest number is 6. 6 new cards off the top. These do not do it. So I have to pass the turn. We have Tainted Pact in our graveyard. So it's worth noting because we have the Oracle in hand. Not that we have double blue black anyway, but this hand is pretty far away from being useful. Mikey plays City of Brass and a Talisman of Dominance. I can't respond. Mox, okay. That's still one short of being able to flashback Savine's Reclamation. It's worth noting, Mikey has Savine's Reclamation, Underworld Breach, and Lion's Eye Diamond in graveyard with Demonic Tutor. So Mikey is dangerously close to being able to assemble the Breach line here. Timna the Weaver. We're now on Mitch's turn, and a Mox Diamond is coming down. Underground Sea into Mana Crypt. Ranger Captain of Eos. So we're in a weird spot now where, in order to win the game, whoever wants to win is going to have to remove this Captain Ranger, Ranger Captain, whatever it's called. And I am very far away from that. Mitch picks up a Tinder Wall with the Ranger Captain, pitches Elvish Spirit Guide to cast it. Into Najeela. Wow, what a turn. You could say that Mitch benefited from those wheels. Alex plays Volcanic Island into Springleaf Drum. So that's one more artifact closer to Metalcraft for the Mox Opal. Tapping the Rograkh for a Mana Vault, so now the Mox Opal is active. And it looks like Alex is passing. Not a whole lot I can do on my turn. Right now I'm just thinking about Talisman Indulgence into Springleaf Drum into Imperial Seal. Probably looking at Dockside as the Imperial Seal target. Mental Misstep. Tap this for a colorless, play the drum. Tap for black. And then Imperial Seal. Dockside is definitely what we want to hear. Pass the turn. Mana Crypt happens. Mikey loses the flip and goes to 33 life. Looted Delta is activated. I am not going to respond. I imagine here that Timna is attacking. Trying to get in a little bit of card advantage before making a robust play like flashing back Savine's Reclamation on Underworld Breach. Apparently I'm the one being attacked. Okay, so we take the 2 damage from Timna. And it looks like Mikey is flashing back that Savine's Reclamation. If this gets to me, that means it's resolving. I cannot interact with Savine's. However, there is a Ranger Captain on the battlefield. Final Fortune. Final Fortune is an instant, so Alex has decided that this is the spot that Alex would like to go for it. So this is a pretty sweet play. At least a Rogside player is doing sweet things, even if it's not me. Spell Pierce is going to counter the Final Fortune unless Alex is willing to tap the Mana Vault. This is just good magic. Alex has tapped the Mana Vault. I believe we're going to see the Spell Pierce be paid for. So the Underworld Breach will enter the battlefield, but Mikey's unable to cast spells. Okay, so Savine's. Ooh, opposition agent. Because it says non-creature. So tutors are offline here. Good play by Mikey getting the opposition agent. The Mana Vault will deal Alex 1, going down to 36. Double red. Underworld Breach. I can't interact with that, so I have to pass. Uh-oh, the breach resolved. Alex has a mental misstep in the graveyard to fight my mental misstep. I cannot respond to this snap. Looks like Mikey can. It's worth noting that Alex does have a mental misstep in graveyard. Mental misstep, and now I will mental misstep the mental misstep. I'm just trying to live. Okay, so now we're back to Dispel on the snap. Alex can actually escape the mental misstep one more time. But it looks like that is resolved. Okay, and I think Alex just accepted that they were dead. So we have one player leaving the game. I have a Dockside on top of my deck. So that's actually unfortunate here, because this is 3 permanents that my Dockside won't give me mana for. And now we can hide Alex. Oh, it reversed the turn order. Oh. I thought I was untapping, so actually I'm going the long way to my turn. Interesting. So Najila gets in. I cannot block. Alright, now we're back to me. I mean, this turn order thing is weird. Okay, so it's back to me. Mitch has 3 in hand. Play Dockside. This is going to make 5 mana. Okay. So I could try to Warrior's Oath here, but if I don't draw anything off the Wheel of Misfortune, I'm dead. Especially with an opposition agent in play, but I don't know if it's going to get better. Also, if Mitch has any interaction, that's really bad for me. I think I'm just going to play it safe. Actually, I should leave the Dockside untapped. And Wheel of Misfortune. I think it's really, really risky to cast this Warrior's Oath here. You have 2 mana open, you need none of your opponents to have anything. And I'm going to bid 11 life. The other players are bidding. Mikey bids 5. I end up losing 11 life. I'm at 18. And this is why I did not cast the Warrior's Oath. I cannot compete with the opposition agent with my hand. I could play Silas here. I don't really feel like it's worth it. I guess it blocks Najila or the Timna. I lose my City of Traders. Okay, I guess we're playing Silas here. That's the world we live in. Pass the turn. So now we're finally back to Mikey's turn. Marsh Flats. So the real reason to play Silas is Timna and opposition agent attacking me is no longer profitable. And if Mikey doesn't attack, the Silas holds back Najila. I feel like I'm supposed to counterspell this. I guess Mitch is on 7. Mitch passed. And both creatures go at Mitch. I do feel like Mitch is ahead right now. So now Mikey draws 2 cards off the Tymna the Weaver. I'm sorry, 1 card off Tymna the Weaver. Passes the turn. You might be thinking that attack step was very weird. I used a little bit of politics in chat. I told Mikey that I let the Crom resolve, and if Mikey attacked me, I would kill the Crom. So Mikey sent 7 at Mitch. You can use politics in Moto chat. I know that people don't, like my previous Moto videos, people are like, Moto's Magic Online's terrible. You can't use politics or talk to your opponents. That's not true. You can be vocal. You just have to use the chat box. Don't know who these are attacking quite yet. They're all going at Mikey by the looks of it. Good deal. Not attacking me. Big fan. Mitchell is complaining that it's not stopping on Mitch's pre-combat main phase. We think the Final Fortune might have messed up Magic Online a little bit. We're not quite sure. Or Mitch just doesn't know what stops are. And we're struggling through that a little bit. But there is a post-combat stop. And just passes the turn. Okay. Draw for turn. Command Tower. We did not need another land. I think I'm supposed to just sit pretty and pass. We are back to Mikey's turn. Mana Crypt is happening. Not a whole lot I can do. Probe looks at Mitchell's hand. And going to combat. Crom's coming at me this time. I'm going to attempt to kill the Crom. I'm at 14. I'm not going to just sit here and die to it. Okay, so Mike, you drew 1 off the Tymna. Yawgmoth's Will. Mikey has an absolutely stacked graveyard. I can't respond. Mitch casts a Fierce Guardianship. Mikey knew that Mitch had this because of the Gitaxian Probe. Pyroblast from Mikey. Blusterstorm from Mitch, and this should counter the Yawgmoth's Will. Mikey is now down to 3 cards. Mitchell has 5. Wishclaw Talisman. So that's especially effective when there's a opposition agent in play. Alright, Mitch is going to combat again. Alright, Warriors are attacking. They're looking like they're going at Mikey here. I can't tell quite yet. Looks like they're all going at Mikey. Okay. And now we're going to my turn. Draw. Necropotence. I'm at 18. I don't know how good this actually is. Tap the command tower. Make a black here. Tap the Rograkh. Necropotence. Let's lose some life. I'm at 18, like I mentioned, so I don't know how much I'm actually allowed to pay. I do have a Final Fortune still in my deck. Okay, so far I've paid 5 life. 6 life. 7. 8. So this brings me down to 10. Mikey could, in theory, play Crom and attack me again. And then Najila swings out. I'm going to pay the life. I'm going to pay 2 more. Make sure to set a stop on my own end step. This is really important when you play Necropotence online because you want to be able to respond to your discard or your full hand after Necropotence. So if you want to cast a Mystical Tutor or Final Fortune, whatever, you need to stop there. Not attacking. Okay, I'm at 8 life and Necropotent's cards are coming to my hand. Bluster, Gamble, Grim Monolith, Moonsnare Prototype, Deadly Rollick. That gets rid of Opposition Agent, but I don't have the Final Fortune. Okay, what to do here? Think I'm going to remove the Opposition Agent. And then pass the turn. We have to discard. Get rid of a couple lands here. It's a lot of protection we have. A lot. I don't think I actually need the Brain Freeze in order to win, so I might get rid of that. Get rid of this Grim Monolith too. Rite of Flame. So many cards. The Gamble doesn't really work well when I have a Necro. And I think the Moonsnare. Okay. I almost got rid of the Brain Freeze, but I might end up needing it and I don't want to be punished. The Moonsnare, realistically, I can't use. It's 5 to channel. And on my turn, which is likely to be the last turn that I'll have, I don't think I have enough mana to effectively use that. Alright, Necropotence has exiled a bunch of stuff. Mana Crypt triggers. Mikey wins the flip. Esper Sentinel, I am fine with that. Attacking. Going at Mitchell. With Najila back on defense, will Mitchell block? Okay, Timna gets in. Activates Wishclaw. We know that the Underworld Breach is gone. There's still an Ad Nauseam, but Mikey's at 18. Could be like Captain Ranger or whatever it's called. Gives me the Wishclaw. Mnemonic Betrayal. With 1 mana floating. So this turn it's been Esper Sentinel Betrayal. What I'm going to do here is Brain Freeze. I don't want to target myself, because if I target myself, I could mill over Underworld Breach. So I'm going to target Mikey with this Betrayal. I'm just trying to cast a spell here. Gotta increase that storm count. Okay, now the Sentinel triggers. We're going to respond to the Sentinel trigger. And I'm going to Flusterstorm the Mnemonic Betrayal. Alright, same targets. And the Betrayal is countered. I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot here now. Just have to make it through Mitchell's turn. Mikey can draw a card off the Sentinel, that's fine. Soul Ring, yep. And passes. Mitch wins the Mana Crypt flip. Plays an Exotic Orchard. 6 cards in hand. Casts a Diabolic Intent. Yeah. Savine's Reclamation. Okay. So I believe I can change the target of this with the Deflecting Swat. The question is, what do I give Mitch? I think it's Birds of Paradise. Yes, I would like to change the target. Mitchell, you can have a bird. Bop. Do you dop a bop or something like that? I don't know 90s songs. All right. Mitch says that they're insulted that I gave them Birds of Paradise. There's a really simple solution to this. Don't register bad cards and you won't get them. Like, it's just a thing. I don't know what to tell you. Of all birds, too, an 8th edition birds. Yikes. Alright, so we get to untap here with 2 tutors. This has been a long game. Unedited, currently 55 minutes. We do not draw. Underground Sea. Tap for a black. Tap this for a colorless. Cast Demonic Tutor. I will not pay for Esper Sentinel. You may draw. I think Mitch realized that they missed their attack step on accident. I don't know how impactful that actually is here. Underworld Breach. Red. Land, I don't know. Breach. It is very lethal. And very on the board. Okay. So I have enough to Oracle Consult out of my graveyard to Oracle Tainted Pact. So I think we're supposed to just set that up. Okay, sacrifice this for blue. Don't even need to do any brain-free shenanigans. Okay, replay Lotus Petal. I'm getting a little bit of lag here. It looks like everyone has conceded. We won one! Yes! Alright, so we're 1 for 3. I don't know if the crew wants to do another. It is getting a little bit late, but we'll find out. I mean, if there's another round, right? Sweet. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Game number 4, we're on the draw. Well, I'm in 4th seat on the draw. I mean, we're really on the draw. This hand is just way too slow. Can't keep that. You could have like turn 1 Imperial Seal for Mana Crypt, turn 2 Twister with double interaction, but it's like, is that really what we want to be doing? Just responding to the rest of the table, and then our payoff being resetting our opponents? Like, they get to go first, they get to dump all their stuff into play, and then I'm going to refill their hands? That's not what I want. So here we have turn 1 Fish. That said, I am in 4th seat. Let's put the Brain Freeze on the bottom. Okay, looks like we're about to begin. Alex reveals a Gemstone Caverns. Mana Confluence from Mitchell. Into Hansen, Bop, Birds of Paradise. Put bad cards in your deck and you will draw them. I think that's the joke I said earlier. Plateau. Lion's Eye Diamond. And Mikey's passing with an open plateau. Or plateau, however you would like to say it. And I'm a little bit nervous when I kept a hand based on Aristic Remora that this means a blast effect. Mana Crypt from Alex after having a Gemstone Caverns. I don't like this. I would like to get a turn where I can play my Remora. No wheels, please. Talisman of Dominance, not Indulgence. Dominance. Plays a Polluted Delta, Mox Opal. 2 cards in hand, 1 card in hand. Yeah, Alex says 1 card. It costs 2 at least right now. 3 mana? What is this? Equips Paradise Mantle to Rograkh? What is happening here? Is this a Necro? Trader Scraps targeting me. Uh-oh. I think Alex is getting my ad nauseam here. When you play on Magic Online, it actually works like intended. When you play a lot of webcam Magic, you end up knowing what the person takes from you with Praetor's Grasp. And when you play online, it works as it should. But that said, I can fetch and look at and see what Alex took. And I'm willing to bet it's the ad nause. All right, draw for turn. Windfall. Not really what we needed here. Let's search our library. The ad nauseam is in the deck. So is Underworld Breach. Dockside. It's Wheel of Fortune. Alex took Wheel of Fortune. That's interesting. Mystic Remora resolves! Yes. Alright, I have to remember to play my commander. Pass the turn. Forbidden Orchard is the card from, or the land drop from Mitch. Here's my card off the Praetor's Grasp. Trying to organize this a little bit. Green, green. Let's auto yield to this. And Mitch is giving me a spirit. Hell yeah. Triple green. Eldritch Evolution. I imagine that this is actually getting Ranger Captain. I mean, it could also get Dockside for 5. I mean, I can't respond to this evolution. Ranger Captain of Eos. Auto yield to that ability. Mitch picks up an Esper Sentinel with the triggered ability of Ranger Captain. Ancient Tomb. Dockside. I can't respond to that. So this is a Dockside for 4 treasures. For 5. Oh, the Paradise Mantle on the Rograkh. Okay. That would make sense. Mikey discards Dispel Gamble to play a Crom. Does not play Timna the Weaver. That's interesting. Grim Tutor. So that can get Dockside Extortionist. Good draw step from Alex. Okay, so Alex then casts a Rhystic Study, which triggers my Mystic Remora and the Crom. There's still this Wheel of Fortune hiding out over here. Yeah, that's a Rhystic Study. I cannot kill it. Okay, so I actually get a second turn this game. We are 13 minutes in, unedited, and we are getting back to my first turn. All right. Would I like to pay for fish? Absolutely. All right, pay for the fish. Draw for turn. Pyroblast. Okay. Get out of here, Rhystic Study. Alex is going to get to draw 1 card here. And I'm just going to leave my spirit back on defense. Ranger Captain attacks me. I'll block. And Mitch just passes after that. Surprising. So now we go back to Mikey's turn on Timna Crom. Mikey has 2 cards in hand. They gained 1 off the Crom trigger that turn cycle. And now they can play Timna into attack with Dockside Crom this turn. Draw 2 cards off the Timna. Unless they drew something huge here. They're adding 4 mana. Maybe they're tapping wrong? White 2. Did they rip Nas? No, it is Timna. Okay. That is a Timna the Weaver. I will not block. Mikey's going to draw 2 cards here. Timna triggers, post-combat. Mikey, as I mentioned, will draw 2. And we still know that Alex has this Wheel of Fortune hidden. This is a very interesting game because my Mystic Remora is being held in check by Ranger Captain. I also haven't drawn any fast mana. So every single turn I have to dump all of my mana into the Remora. I actually need Alex to cast this wheel. Alex is casting Dress Down. I mean, I'm not responding to Dress Down. So Alex does not have to worry about Ranger Captain this turn. This is a pretty good opportunity for Alex to go off with the wheel. There's no Crom to hold back Alex. No Ranger Captain. And here's the wheel. I need this wheel to resolve. My hand stinks. I drew Pact of Negation. Mikey added a red. Must be a Simian Spirit Guide. Now, going to blast my Remora here, apparently. That's unfortunate. Okay. So I think I am by far the one furthest behind now. This Mystic Remora draw did not do me any favors. Is this even good? I don't think so. Alex plays Rite of Flame. Talisman of Indulgence. Wishclaw Talisman. I'm going to let that go. And then once it comes back to my turn, the Ranger Captain will be back online. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm the one furthest behind this game. Draw. Mnemonic Betrayal. I mean, that was a really good one. Play the Lotus Petal. So we're going to try to get a little bit tricky this game. The idea here is we're going to wait until someone tries the Ranger Captain. Well, wait until Mitch tries the Ranger Captain. And then Final Fortune, in response, take the turn with Force Backup and then try to Mnemonic Betrayal. Brainstorm with a fetch land already in play. You love to see it. Classic play patterns. Beautiful. Interesting. Mitch is going for it. I think this is my spot to cast this Final Fortune. Ideally, Mikey would cast Silence here, and it got back to me. City of Brass on the stack. Final Fortune. The Final Fortune resolves. I can now safely probably lose this game to Mitchell. Okay, they pick up Taiga, Rite of Flame. This Rite of Flame actually makes 3 mana due to the Rite of Flame in Alex's graveyard. Ancient Tomb, 5 total mana. Underworld Breach. 3 mana floating. Can Wishclaw for Lion's Eye Diamond. Taps the Forbidden Orchard to play Wishclaw, and as I mentioned, goes and uses Wishclaw for Lion's Eye Diamond, and then Tainted Pact into the win. Okay. Lion's Eye Diamond. Oracle already, so I think that's going to do it. This should be pretty easy. It's just Escape Diamond, Oracle, Tainted Pact. This is a pretty clean win. Mitch has exiled their entire library to the Tainted Pact, and now it's just the Thassa's Oracle to end the evening. Alright, so the entire library is now exiled to Tainted Pact, and then the Thassa's Oracle. So that's going to conclude our matches for the evening, as I mentioned. So when we look at the breakdown, Alex won 1, I won 1. I believe Mitch has won 2. And then it could have been one Mikey, one Mitch, but I believe Mitch got two. I have no memory. What do I know? And that was sweet. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would greatly appreciate that. I hope you have a terrific day. And as always, keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.